CVX Chevron from our JTI charts. As you can see on the chart, although the Venezuelan President Maduro Caesar led Chevron to scream higher and yet has retreated, at least we were on the right side of the market before it happened. How did our algorithms know something was coming? RJTIcharts.com. Apple, RJTI charts versus Raymond James. The reason we can compete, if not outwit many institutional traders, or at least see their thinking, is simply because of the methodology we follow. Our algorithms, our methodology, are tools that have been our guide through every market environment since 1984. Nope, we aren't some pop-up AI company since the year 2020 working to carve out a niche. We rely on our algorithms to tell us when to enter and exit. And sometimes we lament over the idea that most sway you away from being a tactical investor too. There's a place for long-term holdings, and there's also a time to get in and to get out. Well, at least a means of taking some profit off of the table. All you have to do to validate our claim is to look at what the likes of Warren Buffett and others have done. Is it not true in their government agency required 13.7 reporting tends to reflect changes in their portfolio holdings? So if they sometimes change, shouldn't you act accordingly too? RJTIcharts.com algorithms simply help you determine long-term as well as tactical investment ideas from our generated signals based on the laws of physics and mathematics. Here's what just happened January 2nd, 2026, reported on CNBC. Raymond James downgrades Apple, says gains will be hard to come by in 2026. Here's what our algorithms told you without any knowledge of others. And might we add, when did we inform you? 12.5, our aggressive signal AS, and 12.8.2025 conservative signal CS. As you can see, our sell signals came back in December the 5th and December the 8th. RJTIcharts.com. The signals were generated without any input from others or looking at earnings reports or watching financial news stations, etc. We're always in the know, and you can be too. Netflix, RJTI charts versus Josh Brown. Who had the better? It's not the first time our algorithms have outwitted CNBC's Josh Brown, the pro, and many others over the years. Josh Brown and others can never, ever make the claim and prove he called the 2020 stock market decline to come 6 to 9 months before it unfolded like we did. But here's another reason why we don't follow CNBC's pros or others that get you in but seem to always be late getting you out. It was reported Josh Brown significantly cut his Netflix holdings by 85% on Friday, December the 5th, 2025, following the announcement that Netflix planned to buy parts of Warner Brothers Discovery, citing potential regulatory hurdles and opportunity costs as reasons for the portfolio management decision, even though he still likes the stock. Well, this was a great insight, right? But if you go to YouTube, you'll see that on May 6, 2025, search the title, RJTI Charts versus Netflix. Is trouble brewing? What level did our algorithm sell signal come at versus Josh Brown's? As you can see on the chart, our sell signals was 5 months before Josh Brown December 5th announcement. 5 months before Josh Brown December 5th announcement. compare the price levels where you should have bailed. RJTI chart. At least we got it right when the SX90 Energy Index was dipping many months ago in year 2025. We didn't rely on any investment firms or so-called gurus on Wall Street. We didn't look at any earnings reports of oil companies like Chevron or Valero. But you know what we did do? We simply utilized our algorithms and didn't know about an invasion that told us to tell you what was coming around the corner. We didn't have a clue Venezuela President Maduro would be captured. But you know what? Our algorithms, not knowing what variables would spur the SX90 Energy Index even higher, yet it simply told that something would unfold, just like when we forecast the 2020 pandemic 6 to 9 months before it unfolded. This is why we rely on our algorithms, because they tell us what is to come. And you can follow them too. April 2025. Look at what's written on the chart we sent out below. The last trade price at the time was $2,398.31. On that chart we wrote, yes, a further decline is possible, but a lot of patience is to push the trade higher. We work to carve out buys as declines occur. You can see on the chart here, you can see our price lines that we're looking for. We told you beforehand, and afterward, what followed was a 479.82 points up, a 20% rise. Our algorithms told you to buy the dip, as you can see on this chart here. It's easy to see the trees that make up the forest, and it's even easier to see the forest that's made up of trees, but it's not so easy to see behind the forest. Get your Rambo today. RJTICharts.com, driven by infinite wisdom and proprietary trade systems.